Welcome to the Industry Edge podcast, where we talk with leaders working in and for some of the hardest working industries, such as manufacturing, distribution, construction, and more. This episode is brought to you by K&C Marketing. K&C is a full service marketing agency that helps B2B industrial companies grow their brand and increase sales. They serve as either a fully outsourced marketing partner or supplement in-house marketing teams. To learn more about K&C's brand development, marketing, and website design services, visit kncmarketingagency.com. Now, today I have with me Justin Kelly, the owner of Fifth and Broad, a premier video production company based in Nashville, Tennessee. They specialize in high-end video and photography for corporate, industrial, nonprofit, and educational clients, bringing a thoughtful, detail-driven, and people-focused approach to every project. Fifth and Broad takes the burden of video off its clients and makes the process seamless while delivering content that drives real results. And not only are they masters of their craft, but they're also our strategic partners at K&C and an absolute joy to work with. And I'm thrilled to have him on the show today. So Justin, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I'm going to just dive right into it because we know each other pretty well. But so we've both seen firsthand how video content just completely transforms how companies are perceived. What do you think makes video not only just, the pretty stuff that you see on your website, it's visually appealing, but also a super effective sales tool for the companies that you've worked with?
Yeah, I think what we've seen is it really helps build connection with people. It gives like a human element to a brand, whether it's on their website, social media. It gives people the ability to meet the faces of who's doing the work, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and building, you know, honesty in a way, empathy, kind of really creating a connection to the people that are doing the work and giving them the opportunity to articulate, however they to articulate to their clients and prospective clients what it is that they do. And I feel like oftentimes it's easier to do that talking to someone, whether it's, myself interviewing them, rather than typing words out on a page. It kind of creates that human element that makes people connect with somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, connection sells. Absolutely. That's totally true. So at KNC, you guys know this, that we work a lot with the manufacturing, construction, kind of those rugged businesses that keep the world moving. And trust and relationships are everything with those businesses, as they are with a lot of other ones, but relationships are everything. How do you feel like high quality video and photo really help build credibility and strengthen those customer relationships?
Yeah. Um, hmm. I think that it just again kind of goes back to building that connection piece in terms of um helping people to see, like, the real world people that are behind things, right? So like if we're making a video and we're including in the statement piece of video, the main who we are video, um the technician or a supervisor that clients are going to actually experience when they're engaging with that business.
Mhm.
I think if they've watched the video and they've seen the faces, they might not be paying attention to every word that was said or every promise that was made in the video, but they'll remember the face. They'll remember kind of more of the they'll remember the face of the person who was there. And then when they engage with them, when the tech shows up to their house or shows up to their office or whatever the situation is for that business, when that happens, it's like an almost, oh, I know you. I know
Mhm.
that, you know,
Yep.
that you do this. Obviously, you work for this company now. I know, maybe even I remember a little bit about what you said, and I know your heart a little bit. Kind of building that human connection, and that
Mhm.
that's really important.
That's so true. I actually was talking with a potential client, and they talked about, because we talked about the power of video and photo and what it could have, and we thought that it would be really powerful for them to invest in. And he was like, you know what? I totally know exactly what you're saying because I was looking at me and my wife were searching for, I forget what they were searching for, but they looked at this website and they saw, they had lifestyle photos and videos and things that kind of showed who it was. And they were like, he goes, it looked sharp. and it looked awesome. He was like, but then the guy that was actually on the homepage of their website showed up at my house, and he was like, it all clicked. He was like, oh, he's like, so he totally believed in it because of that. So I think there is some sort of like credibility and trust that's built in when you can kind of have that on the forefront of all of your marketing efforts for sure. I
Yeah,
love
and I think
that.
too, another thing that's really important is to make is to make a brand seem like more than like for lack of for like stock footage, like look less, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's easy to get lost in the noise if you're not using photo or video to kind of give your website or your brand life, and you're leaning on stock video, stock photos, simple graphics, just a really whitewashed looking brand. No matter what industry you're in, if you put that against a company that has real world people on it, whether it's team members, leaders, there's a big emotional difference. And
Mm-hmm.
and clients may not like look at the website and say, I'm detracted from this type of website and attracted to this because of these reasons, or because there's no human element on there. They may not articulate that, but I feel like it's something they kind of feel in their soul, and there'll be kind of a gravitational pull to a website or a brand that constantly um, constantly engages online in online media, their team
Mm-hmm.
members, real people behind it. So I think there's a gravitational pull created by that.
Totally. Like they can't really pinpoint it, but they're
Mhm.
like, there's something there. And then if you kind of articulate it for them, they're like, oh, that's why this one slaps so much harder than some of these other ones. Absolutely. And I think people do invest a lot of money in websites, and that's something that we always talk about. It's like if you're investing in something, doing it right and doing it that really truly captures who you are, not stock photos, stock video, and putting all that in there, it really captures the essence of who they are. I think another thing that we've been talking about a lot with businesses is business owners that are phasing out or like eventually going to sell, or they're planning their kind of exit from the company. You know, what is their brand telling potential buyers? What is their brand telling potential employees that they're wanting to attract if they're struggling with retention? So there's an angle that showing who your people are, showing your business in that light, what that does from an attraction, not only if you're trying to sell or if you're trying to attract potential employees and customers. There's something beautiful that happens when you can do that for
Yeah.
sure. Um, so this is something that we've heard from people in our industry, like, oh, what we do is not exciting, or what we do is, not really glamorous. Like, I don't know what we would really talk about or what we would capture. What would you say to companies that say that?
Horse manure. Everything is super glamorous, especially in the industrial space. Like it's I know our team, and when we get out in the field in like a um, yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. When we're in a warehouse somewhere, an industrial facility, it's just so much fun. There's often a lot of texture, a lot of grit, a lot of character to these places that um, that you don't get in an office space. Like we personally, as creatives, love shooting in industrial spaces, especially no matter how unglamorous it seems to those in it. So 2 years ago, we worked with a company that made um, like wrappers for things, like the most boring thing in the world, like print stuff on wrappers. Um, and it was the one of the most fun shoots we've ever had, and like just seeing how the simple things are made. And you ask any person that works there, they're like, "Ain't nobody want to see this." Like, wrong. We do, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everything is glamorous. And frankly, some of these industrial things are just a blast to shoot. We love it.
Yep, that's so true. There's nothing better than like some really hardworking hands, like welding something
Yeah.
or something. Oh, there's so much that, so that I completely
Conveyor
agree.
belt going with things flying by, like
Yep.
Yeah, we love it.
Absolutely. There's a story to tell in all of it. And I think there's also the human element too of, when you really get people, you might get people saying, oh, nobody wants to see this, nobody wants to see that. But then you also get the other end of the script where people are so passionate about what they're doing, and hearing from those people about if they've been there for 30 years, they've worked every position that, is in the company, and hearing their passion for what they do and what the business does, that's even just as powerful and just as glamorous, in my opinion, too. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're drawn to people who love their job. And honestly, a
mhm,
lot of these places, like these people love their jobs.
mhm,
Whether they're validating that the colors are right, and telling stories about, yeah, every time I go into Walmart, I double check our packaging, like because I know what products we've printed, and I just go just to one other quality check. Like they're not even on the clock, and they're doing stuff like this. Like how
that's
cool is
amazing.
it? Those are stories that need to be shared. That's trust that gets built with potential clients and new clients and
Mhm,
clients, like getting a little window into the story of those that are on each line or doing each job, or techs that are doing these. Like it's just
mhm.
so important and so um yeah, so rewarding to hear these stories.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's also something to be said too of, you think about all of us personally when we're looking for a service or a product, what catches our eye, right? If you're on social media, if you're searching on YouTube, if you're searching on Google, what are the types of things that are catching your eye? And it's the polish, the quick hitting video, it's movement, and all of these kinds of things. So I think from a marketing and sales perspective, like all of the things that you guys do and produce are able to be used as sales tools in various ways, whether it's on your website or whether it's a proactive marketing tactic that's out into the wilderness, right? Like attracting people. There's so many different ways that this separates yourself as a customer or as a business from some of your competitors. So,
Yep.
love that. What do you feel like some of the common mistakes that you see in video that businesses will make? And what's your advice for businesses that are wanting to get the most return on investment? Of investing in video and photo, it can be, a big investment for some companies. So what's your advice on getting the most ROI out of it?
Yeah, I think smaller and shorter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So bite-sized. um so what we've been doing a lot of recently is kind of clipping out in shorter segments. I'm talking 10, 15, 20 seconds max. um, and giving clients the ability to kind of saturate for a longer period of time. And yeah, I think because the attention span of people, like we know, is super quick, right? So we need to grab attention. So we're trying to create content that is shorter, gets right to the point, breaks through the noise, kind of this interruption marketing per se, in terms of just kind of grabbing people's attention with a short hook and just telling them one thing and boom, letting that be the content.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think there's less. I feel like longer form video, I'm talking like 2 or 3 minutes. Like that's great for a website. It's great for maybe you have a call with a potential client and like a video you want to send to them before the call to kind of bring them up to speed. Like watch this 2 minute video. It'll tell you everything you need to know about who we are and what we do. We'll set up very nice for our call. So kind of use that as a sales tool. Yeah, I think there's a lot of creative ways to kind of segment stuff out and really
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of content. Yeah.
I love that. So I want to talk a little bit more about your guys's like process. So like say somebody listening is like, I need this. I know I need this like to invest in video, photo, but I'm nervous. I don't want to be on camera. Maybe my team, the people that I think should be on camera might be nervous. What would you tell them? And how do you guys feel like your guys' process and the way that you help bring these videos to life, like on the behind the scenes kind of stuff to kind of put people at ease about what you guys do?
Yeah. So first, we handle everything. So everything from helping to schedule the shoot to writing the interview questions to asking the interview questions. We're able to we come in and we'll take that completely off of a client's plate,
Mhm,
and really lead the production and set it up for do everything necessary to set it up for success.
mhm,
Get on set. It is all about it's all about making those in front of the camera comfortable. So we're very empathetic and really intentional about creating an environment that is conducive to someone becoming comfortable. It's hard to do, but
mhm,
getting comfortable in front of a camera. Um, our approach is very conversational. I've yet to put someone in front of our camera, and we've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people, from C-level execs all the way down to technicians or even line workers. It doesn't matter what their status is, how comfortable they are in front of camera. We have always been able to have a natural conversation with anybody, um, and get what we need in terms of messaging, and it look authentic and real and fairly comfortable. Yeah.
mhm. Yep. I know. I feel like people, and I have seen this happen behind the scenes, and it's always people are so nervous about it. They think they have to do, oh my gosh, I have to go on this rant for like a minute or 2 minutes, and they're not going to cut it or edit it. And you get so nervous and feel like you're going to sweat your face off in these interviews. And then you get done and you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they used 10 seconds of the clip
Yep.
here and maybe a 30-second run here. And it just comes together beautifully in the grand scheme of things. So, but I think
Most
people think they're going to go on a monologue and you guys are just going to record it and that's what it's going to be. And I think that's a misconception about what it is that y'all do for sure.
Yeah, most of the time when we finish an interview, like the common comment afterward is like, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. It's like
Mm-hmm.
when they forget that they're in front of camera, which it will happen when we're just having a casual conversation. There will be a point at which they'll kind of forget what's going on in a way, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a conversation. We're just chatting.
Yep.
They're the expert. I'm not asking questions that that they don't know the answer to. They have all the answers and they know them intimately because it's their day-to-day life. And
Mm-hmm.
so once we get going, once we're really just asking the questions that they know the answers to, they really
Mm-hmm.
start to open up and get comfortable in front of the camera, and we get everything
Yep.
we need. Like I said, we've never had an interview where it's like, well, nothing there. Like
Got
we
nothing.
always get what we need. We always get what we need. Yeah.
And that's totally a tribute to how you guys make people feel comfortable and the way that you the way you structure everything that you do. And I think something that is also great about, kind of from storyboarding and thinking about what are the actual goals of each piece that you're getting and backtracking the questions in a way that makes sure that you get like, if you're working with a client and a lot of customers might not know. You're like, I don't know what I should like. And you guys have the expertise to be able to say, like, here's the goal for this one. And these are the questions that we need to ask in order to hit these goals, which I feel like is something that is so powerful and valuable and something that you're not always getting with a video partner. Like some creatives and video teams are very, they're good at what they do, but the storyboarding and help walking people through it, that is like 50% of what makes y'all's work so powerful. So guys are killer editors and video, but I'm like, you make people feel comfortable in front of the camera too, and that.
Most important thing. It really is. It really
Mhm.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know because I've done it myself. And
Yeah.
you do get nervous. I'm not saying you don't get nervous that first little bit,
Yeah.
but it gets easier. Like right when you start getting into it, you're like, okay, I got my groove. I'm good. I'm good. I can do this.
Yeah.
So you guys do a great job at that. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I have one final question for you. If somebody was like on the fence about whether or not this is right for them, what do you feel like you would tell them about video and what you guys do? As far as like somebody who's wanting to invest in video, would you lean them? What would they look for in a partner?
Yeah. Um, in terms of what they should look for in a partner, if they're looking
In
at
a video
video,
partner.
yeah, I really think it comes back to everything we've been saying. It's trust and yeah, it's trust. Finding a partner that you can trust that that makes the experience easy. I mean, our motto is basically we're the easiest video company that you'll ever work with. I think bringing in someone who's a professional that has done this time and time again, that has a proven process is important because you know a client shouldn't expect to lead a process like that, right? They need to be just like they are for their clients. They need to bring in someone who is living in this every day, who knows each step in the process and has ironed out all the problems and can come in like a guide and just walk them through that process.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's really important when looking for a
Mhm.
partner. Sure.
For
Really
sure.
looking for any partner, right? Whether it's marketing, anything. I think it's
Mhm.
important to
Yep.
find a partner that you can trust. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you're the expert. You walk me through it. I shouldn't be having to, yes, absolutely. I
You
love
just tell
that.
me the problems. What do
Mhm.
you need a sales tool for your sales team? Do you need a brand building campaign where you're creating authentic connections between your customers and your brand? Are you X, Y, or Z, whatever you just tell us the problem and we'll come in and help collaborate and figure out and help guide you through how we can solve those problems with video.
Mhm.
That's it.
I love it. Awesome. Well, that's perfect. Well, to wrap it all up, we've been talking with Justin Kelly, owner of Fifth and Broad Video Production. Justin, can you tell the people where we can find you?
Yes, our website is fifthandbroad.com.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much again for your time. This was great.
Absolutely.
Thank you
This
for being
was
on the
fun.
show.
Thanks for having me on, Danielle.